Good morning. It's March 28th. I'm just headed downtown. I have a haircut appointment in half an hour. So it takes about 20 minutes to get there, so that should work out perfectly. Then I'll stay there and work, but I'm just going to live stream the walk down. I know it's just another walk downtown. I continue to, squirrel. Right there, you can see him. He just disappeared around the tree again. I continue to struggle with the time spent on walking when I've got so much else to do, so. I don't care. I'm getting some message says unable to display Facebook chat. So, oh well. These things come out of nowhere. It's like everything's fine, and then all of a sudden you get these messages, and the print is so small I can't read it, so I have no idea what it says. So, if you're Facebook chatting, no, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay, if you're trying to chat with me on Facebook, I'll see it later. What that boils down to. It's about -3 or 4, so chillier. Everything's frozen. There was a big winter storm, but spring storm, I guess, at this point. But it went north of us, so there was tons of snow and whiteout conditions up towards Saskatchewan. But down here, we just got a little skiff of snow, and there was a little freezing drizzle this morning, but nothing serious. Ashok, hi. It's going to be below freezing going into April, I think, looking at the long-range forecast. And then it starts going up into the 7, 8, 9 range, which will take care of the snow pretty quick. Doesn't mean we won't get more of it, but eventually it's already looking old and tired, and it's melted around the edges, which is what happens. The sun hits that exposed ground and warms up, and it creeps back. But it's not gone yet. Still looks like winter. Been to the gym already today. That's mainly what I did this morning. Once my haircut's over, I'll have lunch and do some work. I also have to go to the bank. Did about $500 in book sales at the book launch on Monday night at Bushwhacker. You can watch the recording of the live stream, but I didn't make too big a deal out of it because it's a pretty terrible live stream. I forgot a tripod, and there's a lot of background noise, so including a live band that started up in the other room. You could hear it okay in the room we were in, the readings, because there was a good mic. But the iPhone, of course, picked up all of the ambient sound because I didn't have a directional mic on it either. So you can watch it, but the one from Saskatoon last Thursday at McNally Robinson, which is also on my YouTube channel, but only in a playlist of authors I published, I think, in Chautauqua Press. You can find it there. Somewhat better live stream. You can see me in both of them because I kind of hosted the events. Now I'm editing and writing my own, still working on my own new novel. I've had to back up and take a run at it from the beginning because I've suddenly understood a few things I didn't quite understand, even though I had a synopsis. As I wrote, things changed, and I've gone back to try to put in some foreshadowing of what's got to come later, and also just remind myself of what I've already said. And then hopefully I can push on to the end another 200 pages at least, I would think. Maybe 250. I don't know yet. Be away a bit, hopefully get a lot of writing done, because I do have a couple of days when I'm kind of on my own. Even though I'll be with my wife, but she's in meetings, so we'll see. We shall see what we shall see, but I'm certainly going to try. And then editing. I've got a book coming out in May that needs a lot of editing, and I'm working on that. That wind is sharp by this tall building here. Very wintry wind. My haircut will be at the Hotel Saskatchewan, same place I will eat lunch and often go to work. Also, right next to it is Admin Print Center, where I have to pick up some programs I had printed for Wascana Voices. That's the high-end self-directed. Are we at 13 or only 12 voices this year? 13 voice choir, maybe 12 currently. And our concert is a Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. If you're in Regina, it's free will offering. So it'd be nice if you threw some money in the collection plate, but no admission charge. And it's at Westminster United on 13th, which I won't walk by today. Well, I'll get close to it later, but I won't be live streaming at the time. So I have dress rehearsal for that tomorrow afternoon. And tomorrow morning I have an interview with an author for the World Shapers. So I continue to do that now every 2 weeks. Children's book author this time, from Alberta, Jenna Green. This Petro can annoys me. I buy all my gas here, but every time, last 4 times I've stopped, there's been no water in the windshield cleaning receptacles. So I complained yesterday, and she said, oh, the guy that fills those comes by in the afternoon. Well, that's just stupid. You don't just fill it once a day, and in the afternoon, after all of the, all the morning people have been there looking to clean their windshields. You fill it whenever it needs filling. Why is there one guy who has to come to the place in order to fill it? Surely you could teach the people who work there. It's not exactly a complicated task. So I'm seriously considering writing a strongly worded letter to Petrocan to complain about it. See if that makes any difference. 4 times now I've bought gas there and wasn't able to clean my windshield. Or at least I had to use the dregs of dirty water that was still left in one of them once. So, totally unacceptable. You're a service station, for crying out loud. Offer me some service. End of rant. End of that rant. I've got plenty more, but I usually try to avoid them. I won't tell you what I think about the Canadian election, except to say I sincerely hope, from the bottom of my heart, that the Liberals do not form government again. Even though, apparently, people in my age group are the ones who are most likely to vote for them and potentially put them back in power, while younger people, right up until about age 60, go for the Conservatives instead of the Liberals. But well, most elections end in the wrong people getting in, as far as I can tell. It's always the wrong people for somebody. It only matters if it's the wrong people for me. Shouldn't say most. Probably of all the elections I've voted in, I've been on the winning side, maybe half, maybe less, I don't know. And I've voted for every political party we have in Canada, not necessarily at the federal level, but on the provincial level I certainly have over the years, since I became a citizen. Didn't vote at all before that. Which should be obvious, but I'm not sure it is anymore. Dust in my eyes. I think I'll go this way, just to get out of that wind, which just put a really nasty bit of grit in my right eye. That's better. Little crying. It cleaned it out. So we're on 15th, in case you're wondering. You probably aren't, but you might be. Maybe I'll stick to 15th this time instead of immediately turning north. Maybe I'll go up one. I don't know. Doesn't matter much. It's a good place to cross because there's a stop sign there. McIntyre Street. Milberg and Burke, famous jewelers. These are still houses. Some of them are multi-unit. New ones, that one. Some are old houses, and a lot have turned business. Not all of them. This is usually called, or has been over the years, the transition area because it's supposed to be transitioning from residential to downtown, but it hasn't changed much in the 30 years I've lived here. Not that much transitioning, a little bit. Could transition a lot more. I like that house with the stone pillars on it. Interesting to see inside it. It's clearly an old one. It's in my book, Historic Walks of Regina and Moose Jaw, but I don't remember the details. If I ever get the like the Ray-Ban sunglasses that have a camera in them, so I can just wear glasses to live stream, maybe I could go out with my Historic Walks of Regina and Moose Jaw and walk the walks and talk about the buildings, those that are still there. Quite a number of them have been torn down since I wrote the book, unfortunately. The bulk of them are still there, but a few I know for sure are gone because the book's more than 10 years old now. Probably more like 15. I don't remember exactly. It was published by Red Deer Press. I was supposed to do one for Saskatchewan too, but I bailed on that because it was clear after doing this one that I couldn't afford it. It would be way too difficult to do one in Saskatoon where I'd have to go up and stay, and the money wasn't there for that, so never did that one. The one here was easy because the Regina Historical Society, I think, had created these walks, and I just adapted them for my book, and they provided a lot of the information. I did additional research on a few things, rewrote, all that kind of stuff, and I won an award for it, so it seemed to go over all right. The Regina Heritage Award, very nice. No money, but a very nice certificate that I was presented with at the city council meeting. Here's seagulls, or gulls, land gulls, really. Well, let's take the alleys again. I don't walk through them very often. Or through between those two buildings, maybe I can go through that. Don't think I've ever walked through there. Maybe not really. Sidewalk probably goes to the front, but it might not. One to my right is the Frontenac, which I really like the front of, although it's a little dull from this side, but it's a very nice apartment building. I think maybe I was in one once, that's all. City Hall over there, courthouse over there, Canadian Oil's building beyond that. I'll go up here and walk between Frontenac and the Balfour. Just like that person up there is. I don't know if you'd call this the scenic route or not, but at least it's a little different. There's the back of the Frontenac fire escape. Back of the Balfour up here. Check for traffic. Seems to be okay. There's the back of the Balfour. It does not have fire escapes back here. I wonder where the fire escapes are. Maybe they don't have an external one. Use the stairs, not the elevator, in the event of a fire. Oh, here we go again. First Baptist Church. I have music I'm supposed to drop off there from last Easter that I should have turned in then. And it's still not in my computer bag. Sorry. Gotta get away from somebody, I think. Knox Metropolitan United Church. Over there. We are now 1.5 blocks from the hotel entrance. Smith again, performed in there many a time. Here's the front of First Baptist. Victoria Park over there, the hill towers. So they're what passes for skyscrapers here in Saskatchewan. I think the tallest buildings are in Saskatoon, but they're not much taller than this. Land Titles Building, home of the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame. The Admin Print Center, where I'll pick up the posters later, is in that building over there. I have time to go to the bathroom when I get in. Should. Had too much coffee before I left. So. I know, too much information. But this is stream of consciousness here, people. Stream of consciousness. Whatever comes out of my mouth is what you get. And the very, 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 at this point, if you watch these a lot, familiar entrance to the Hotel Saskatchewan, which is, of course, a Marriott, like everything else. I will stop here. Thanks for walking with me, and bye for now.